Hi, welcome to an exciting episode of Zazzle Chat. You'll notice today I'm wearing a special metallic shirt, and that's because we just launched Foil, and I'm really excited to be explaining that with you today. So first of all, we have Matt here today. Matt is one of our senior managers of visualization, which sits under engineering. And I'm gonna let him explain what he does because it's super interesting.
Cool. My name is Matt DeFonso, and our team's job is to create the blank canvases for designers. So we pretty much create canvases through computational photography, where we take images and then we break them apart into various stages, various pieces, and then reassemble them in a way that designers can use them on the website. The other cool thing about them is that every image that someone is working with on the website is also translated directly to the physical manufacturing process. So it's a true full loop of what you see is what you get, where all the data that a user inputs is then carried over into manufacturing and is created.
So in layman's term, what Matt's team does is they take all the product shots on the product page, and anything that you design uses their technology to kind of look good on the product page. So every shot that you guys design on is in part thanks to Matt's team. So Matt's team worked a lot on Foil, and so that's why we have him here today. And he's going to explain some of the challenges as well as some of the wins in adding this new technique. So first of all, one of Zazzle's core beliefs is that people should be able to create anything, and launching Sleek Foil is another step in that direction. Sleeking is an on-demand foil stamping for short-run digital applications, allowing custom one-off designs. So digital printing has been taken to a whole new level with the sleeking. So, what are some of the challenges that your team had in bringing Foil to life?
Well, we had a lot of challenges when we first looked at the samples. One of the first challenges was foil doesn't look like much unless it's lit. So we were very careful about how does lighting play a role in best illustrating what these are going to look like when people start playing with them on the site. So we knew right away that we had to have a video component where we could actually show light changing over the surface of the object that someone's designing on. Mm-hmm. So once we realized that we had to do that, then we had to figure out how we were going to make the entire process work, where we would still break an image apart and create meshes and areas for people to map their images onto, but in the context of a video, and where we can have light passing over that and actually change the lighting model between the light at one position versus the light at a different position, and accurately convey what that foil is going to look like when you actually get it printed and receive your product.
So here's a foil sample, and again, like in person, it depends on how you look at it, but the light changes the reflection and everything. And so you mentioned earlier some parts are white, some parts are black, and it's very complicated to kind of correctly visualize this if you're not in person.
When you typically hold a shiny object in your hand, you're moving it to how it looks best for you. Mm-hmm. And so you're seeing the extremes from brightest white to darkest black. And we're trying to find some kind of happy ground in between where it's a best fit for the majority of use cases. And in having the video effect, we're able to show the entire sweep of this is what it would look like if you were holding it and you could actually see it moving or move a light source behind it, and get the full effect of how that foil will really look.
That's super exciting. So in addition to video, they also have designers have static assets that they can play with.
Correct. And those were a particularly challenging part of the process because, as we just talked about with the video assets, it's so light dependent. So we had to figure out at what point in that light pass for the video do we stop it and say this is where the light's going to come in for the static assets. So we picked a point that was basically in the middle of the user's design. So you'll see that there are dark areas and there are light areas, and we retain the foil effect throughout. So definitely based on your placement of images as a designer, you're going to find areas that look better or worse to you, but they were all accurately modeled based on where the light was at that particular position that we essentially froze the scene.
So as a designer, play around with the different shots that are available, but just know that the consumer in order to get the best representation, we'll need to look at all the assets to get a good composite of the product that they're going to receive.
Absolutely. Yeah, combining the art view, the static view, and the video view will give you a nearly perfect representation of what that actual object will look like when you get it.
Cool. So what's the biggest thing that you're proud of for your team in accomplishing this new launch?
Well, we're really proud of being able to offer the exact things that we were just mentioning, of being able to provide this combined experience of your art view, your static view, your video view, all giving you an accurate representation of not only your product, but what your product will look like being lit in a variety of ways. So it's supposed to closely approximate what it would feel like if you actually were holding it and then you were looking at it to sort of simulate the foil effect on your own, or to give yourself the full foil effect. So we're really proud of that. We're really proud that you can upload an image and have that immediately visualized in foil. It's completely real time. It is happening on the fly. And we're the only site that allows you to do that. So we're very excited about that part of the technology.
It's a big accomplishment. Zazzle is currently the only site that allows you as a designer to upload an image and see what it looks like as foil in real time, and we're also the only site that allows customers to order foils as one-offs. So yeah, we're extremely proud of this new canvas, and we are so excited to see what you guys, our designers, are going to do with it.
Absolutely.
So the first product we launched with foil is actually our greeting cards, right? So greeting cards are really the perfect product to start with, because not only do they look good with sleek foil, they're one of our top products, and it's really giftable as a product. So kind of those three combined. So first of all, we launched it just one product type, but 3 different sizes. There's a standard 5x7, there's a small 4.25 by 5.5, and then a mini size 3.5 by 5. And so just so you know, they're also both all 3 sizes are available in both horizontal and vertical orientations. Right now we have them available in gold foil and silver foil, though we may be adding more foil colors in the future. And then there's 3 different paper types. So there's kind of the signature matte, there's a premium craft, and then a premium gray. So you can have different mediums to play with the foil. And then lastly, there are 6 filters. So Matt, can you explain to us what filters are and what your team did to create these filters?
So these filters are part of a process called halftoning, which is used in print when you essentially only have one color to print with. We wanted to give users the option to take an image, a full color image, maybe a picture of their family or something like that, and convert that into something that will not be just a complete blob of foil. So it essentially allows you to strip down parts of the foil in order to create more of a grayscale effect or different tones of the same color. So the best way to experiment with them is to go through each of the 6 filter types and see what works best for the image that you've uploaded. It's going to be different based on everyone's use case, and it's best to just play around with them in order to get an idea of how it will look.
Exactly. So there's 6 different filters. There's etched, dot, and solid, and each one has an inverse. So play around with them, and then there's also, when you go into each filter, there's a contrast level, and so you can play with how dramatic or light you want that contrast to be. So the outside of the card, just to note, will only be printed in foil, while the inside will be printed in CMYK, so that's color. So we currently cannot mix and match color and foil, but that's just because we just launched it. We're working on being able to do that in the future, but for phase 1, you can only print foil on the outside and then CMYK on the inside. So one other thing about these cards is they're sleek foil. So it's real foil, but it's digitally printed. So unlike kind of pressed foil, I have these examples. It's smooth to the touch and it's not pressed down. So we just want to make sure that expectation is correctly set. you're not going to feel the difference in paper weight or where it's been pressed down when you design it, but it is real foil and it looks great, and we're really excited by it. On the back of the cards, you'll notice that we have designer attribution as well. So not only did we add Zazzle attribution, we've added designer attribution for this to give you guys more credit for your awesome designs. But please note, customers can potentially opt out of it if it doesn't fit their needs. So today is August 1st, and we're so excited that we've launched foil in time for holiday. Right now, it's perfect time to start getting ready for holidays. People are already thinking about holidays, back to school, holidays is the next step. But aside from holidays, don't let that be your only limit. There's so many other designs that you can use. So thank you cards, greeting cards, personal stationery, anything wedding related, save the date, bridesmaid cards, thank you cards, and even wedding programs. So don't let us hold you back. Design anything that you guys have ideas for. Some design tips regarding this, based on the medium. Text-based looks really good. Anything text-based, so play around with the different fonts and typography. Fun, quirky vector designs look good. Again, play around with the different filters that we have to see what looks best with your designs. And also play around the different paper types. Something that doesn't pop on a white could pop on a gray or a craft paper. And then, photography. So photography, because of the filters, will look good. Again, play with the different paper types to see what works best. But all in all, we're so excited that we have been able to launch foil.
Absolutely.
It's been a lot of work on Matt's team, on engineering's team, on manufacturing team. And this, again, is just phase one. We just launched it. We're so excited to continue to launch products using this process and to fine tune it and tweak it. And so we really hope that you stay tuned and you join the journey with us as we continue to launch more and more processes.
Absolutely.
So if you have any other tips or questions, check us out on the forums and we'll be sure to respond to questions there. So until next time, stay tuned.